Welcome to the Discover Montcalm podcast, where we're going to take a look at the communities, the businesses, the attractions, and the people that make up Montcalm County. Here is your podcast host, Dwayne Weed.
Hello, and welcome to this edition of the Discover Montcalm podcast. If you can tell right now, I'm not in the studio, and I'm on location here at Smiling Acres, just outside of Truefant. And I've got Nate and I've got Rhonda with me today. They're the owners of this acreage, the stage, I guess everything that we see around here. Let's jump right into it. Tell me a little bit about what is Smiling Acres?
Event space, music festival. We have our 4th annual music festival coming up this end of June.
So 2020 is when you...
No, 2021 was our first year.
2021.
Right after they lifted the public ban, or
Okay.
like where you could have public meetings.
Yep. And you thought, well, we'll just do it outdoors.
Yeah.
What inspired you to decide to do this? What is the why behind this whole project?
There's a lot of them, really. You know, the primary one was back probably, 15 years ago by now?
Our first one here?
Yeah.
That was 2011 because Ken was,
Gotcha.
just a
whatever
baby.
the case, we used to shoot fireworks off down on the lake as kids. And
Okay.
Our group of friends would, go out and buy a bunch of fireworks, take them out on the end of the dock, light them off, and have a good time at the 4th of July. Well, the budgets got bigger as we got jobs and everything, and next thing we know, we weren't being safe anymore, so we decided to bring the 4th of July gathering over here. And for a lot of years, it was just us and our friends and maybe some of their friends that would show up, and we'd occasionally would do a potluck, and then we started doing a catered type of meal, and it was always like, well, you know what else we need? We need live music, and we had started going to Wheatland and being involved on the Kids Hill Committee with Wheatland, and started really enjoying festivals, and everything kind of came together when we met Mark Lavengood and became friends with him, and he came to one of our Smiling Acres events, and I told him what kind of vision we had for live music and how we might want to do that, and it just kind of developed into, well, let's just do it. Let's put all the pieces in place and make it happen.
Now, do you have it, I know it's in June, is it like the same weekend in June every year, or is it kind of one of those that they need to go to Smiling Acres on Facebook and check out when the date is?
We try to have it centered around the 4th of July because that's where it started with when they were teenagers. But this year we're the weekend before the 4th this year, just to help, I don't know, to get more people to try it out, see if they enjoy coming out.
Well, sometimes you got to move it around a little bit to figure out where you actually go.
Right.
And when they say the end of June, we're in 2024, so somebody watching this in the future going to Smiling Acres, music festival?
Yep.
Is that what you are on Facebook?
Yeah. Yeah.
Smiling Acres Music Festival, smilingacresfestival.com, anything like that.
Okay.
If you search
Just look for Smiling Acres and
you'll find us.
Truefant.
Yep.
I'm sure there's only one of you around here.
Yep.
Yep.
So you've started this, and it started off as kids, and you're I guess, can I use the word grown up? Are we grown ups yet?
No.
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay.
Age-wise, maybe.
Well, according to the age, we're looking at that. So you started this in 2021, and what was the expectation of that first year, and did it meet or exceed what you were thinking?
I think it exceeded. It was.
It did. It exceeded what we were hoping for.
It was amazing. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was really seat of our pants that year, just kind of putting it all together. We have a great team behind us, helping us. Everybody's kind of doing their part to put all the pieces in place. Everything from permitting to ticket sales to you name it.
Mowing the lawn.
Yeah, keeping all the acres.
You've got a few acres here. How many acres do you have here?
There's 40.
There's 40 acres, and let's go back prior to when you decided to have. Has this always been a field, or was there trees here? Did you have to clear it?
It's been put together piecemeal. We bought the original piece that we're sitting on, which is about 13 acres, 24 years ago, roughly?
Something like that, yeah.
That shortly thereafter, a 4-acre parcel came up for sale over there. We grabbed a hold of it because we liked the price on it, and we knew that we wanted to have more property. The field over here eventually came up for sale. We grabbed a hold of that, and then a few years back, the swamp came up for sale, and we kind of put together what used to be an old 40, but it had been divided up and
Brought it all back together again.
exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. We didn't really have to clear anything. This was corn stubble when I moved here. That alternated between corn and soybeans before they decided
They were farming it.
they were farming it, just it wasn't fertile enough for them to get a good yield, and so I decided to, at one point, that maybe I'd just put hay on it, and that hay became the field that we
field
used for
that we had.
camping. So,
So you just mentioned camping. Is this a 2-3 day event?
It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we have early entry on Thursday as well.
So people can start coming in on Thursday, set up campsites.
if they buy the early entry pass.
Of
There's
course.
a separate pass for that.
Okay. You start music on Thursday, you start music on Friday?
No, we have a Thursday night special where we have Jack Elliott and then Jacqueline and her mom. And then we have King Possum Thursday night, Mark's Lavengoods band.
Okay.
So I call it the Thursday night special because it just if you're here, you're lucky you get to listen to them too.
Okay. So as you're looking back 2021, you had this vision. The first one turned out well. You really enjoyed, obviously you're now coming up on year 4. What was your vision? I know you said you talked to Mark about sharing your vision, with him. At that point, what was your vision?
To give people a place to come and enjoy themselves, to see live music, to spend time with their families and be in a friendly environment, to just kind of build upon, what we like to do.
Okay. And from that first year, I take it, I would assume that as people hear about it, each year it gets a little bigger and a little bigger. And the number of acts that you have probably also has...
We've been playing around with how late we run music on Sunday nights and how many bands we run back to back. So
Right.
it varies every year how many. It doesn't really increase every year. I think we've cut back
I
some.
think the second year was probably the most bands we've had, and probably the most bands we'll have. There's just a point of oversaturation where it's too much.
Yeah, at a certain point, you got to say, okay, it's better if we do this amount and let people, kick back and enjoy. The types of music that you bring out here. Mark and I talked about it a little bit, but tell me the types of music that come on this stage, right behind, that big, those tables will be down and that'll be amps and music equipment. But what kind of music are you trying to put here, or is it a variety of stuff?
It's a variety.
We want to have a variety. You'll get bluegrass, Americana. Basically it's the kind of music that we like. We try to avoid the extremes as much as we can, especially at our festival.
Okay. Well, and there's other festivals that hit. So you've got to have your little.
Our little niche.
Yes, of course. So somebody could sit here and listen to country. They could listen to maybe some classic rock, blues.
Yep.
But again, bluegrass, folk probably hits all of that.
We have some pop. We have Lady Ace Boogie this year, and we have some more rock with Patty Parshala.
Okay.
Parshela. Sorry.
So are you formatting this around more original music, or are you doing some cover band, or is it a mix?
Almost exclusively original music.
Yeah. I like hearing the stuff that you want to sing, that stuff that everybody else has covered. So
Right.
It's fun. And then it's a nice mix that we
They'll
get.
throw in a cover here or there, but largely when the band gets on stage, they're going to be playing their music.
Well, every festival's a little different, and because I'm curious, I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn what you have here. So in the event, how many bands are you finding are a good number for your festival?
I don't even know how many we have this
We're
year.
roughly about 30, I think,
I think so.
Over
around there.
over
over the
the
course of the days.
Yeah.
Yep. So and that's on Smiling Acres,
SmilingAcresFestival.com is the best place to check it out, or the Facebook page.
and you can check out who's here and what time they're here.
Yep. That's all listed.
I know this might have some legs and go on for a few years. So I guess to ask you what kind of the price range, I don't want put something out there and somebody catch it next year, show up at the gate and find out that you raised it $5. But in a price range, what does it cost for like an individual pass as opposed to you have family passes?
No, we don't have family passes. We have adult weekend camping passes, 95. And then kids are 25 for the weekend. And then we have day passes at 45.
Okay.
So.
And just anybody that's watching this, if you're beyond 2024, check out the Facebook page, check out the website.
Right.
Your pricing will be adapted at that point.
Yeah.
You know, because we know that, you know, the sound crew, the lighting crew, the people, and all of that, you know,
The X we bring in.
that adds up. So at a certain point, you don't want to have you want to charge, make it fair, but at the same point, you know, you got to make some money.
Right.
Out here, I take it you made friends with your neighbors.
We are close by neighbors. We go and we talk to them each year. We offer them whatever tickets they'd like to have so their family can come and enjoy it. And we, you know, try to be courteous and not have the music run too late. Or, you know, as it gets in the evening hours, we turn the volume down. We always make sure that anybody that's, you know, anytime we have traffic coming in, we get them in on the property so we're not backing up cars on the road anywhere.
Right.
You know, try to be absolutely as courteous as we can possibly be.
Well, and that just makes sense.
Right.
You know, I mean, some people may, what about, but, you know, at a certain point, you probably have a noise level that you want to try to say, okay, the bands need to be done by this time, and campsites, you need to keep your, you know, no amplified music after, you know.
Right.
So,
Yep, it's after midnight, we don't have any amplified
you
music.
know, so acoustic guitars, you know.
Oh, yeah, all night if you
around
want.
the campfire.
Yeah,
There's
I'm
some
sure
great
that there's
things
some pretty
happening around the
wild
campfire.
jam sessions that are,
Just incredible music. Some of the coolest experiences I've had during our festival are at the campfire, just people playing around the campfire.
yeah.
And this year we introduced a silent disco too for those people that want to stay up late. I don't know if you're familiar with the concept.
I'm not.
Oh, those
Basically,
is
you've
fun.
got a DJ that is, or a band that is playing completely acoustic into electronic equipment where each individual user has their own headphones and they can listen to what's going on. And from the outside, you just see people dancing quietly and it just looks strange.
I was going to say, look, I bet you
But-
that would be funny, but yet,
Yeah.
But as soon as you put the headphones on, you're in the experience, and it's a different. It's such a interesting dynamic to look at. But
I take it you have vendors here for food and
Yeah.
drink, and are people allowed to bring their own stuff in?
Oh, yeah, yep. You can bring your own food. We'll have our Sunshine Cafe open again, and what else? We have Mike's Magic Beans and Lumberjill this year.
So
food
you
vendors
bring
and-
food trucks in
Yeah.
to
Food
kind of.
what is there? About 30 vendors, I think, this year.
I think we're pushing 30 different craft type vendors. Yeah.
Okay. Alcohol, no alcohol. What's
We don't sell alcohol, but you can bring your own. We just say please don't bring glass bottles.
Okay. And be responsible.
Be
Oh yeah,
responsible,
yeah. This is
100%,
family.
yes.
We really try to keep this very family friendly. Like we have a kids corner where we do crafts, and we have some different workshops for the kids to do. So we try to make the kids have as much fun as the adults.
Well, there's always something going on.
Always.
There's always something going on, and that's what I like about this podcast is I get to meet people like you that, you know, we talk on the phone, but we never met.
Right.
And I'm learning a little bit more about what's going on here in Montcalm County.
Yeah.
Have the two of you, did you grow up here or did you come are you transplants from somewhere?
I grew up about 2 miles from here, down the road.
And I'm
Okay.
from
Lakeview
Greenville.
Schools. She went to Greenville.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've been Montcalm County, you know.
Yep.
Going back in the day, what are some of the things that you've seen in the areas that you've grown up that have changed? You know, growing up in graduating whenever you did, you know, what was times like then compared to times like now?
Oh man.
It's kind of a loaded question.
It is a difficult question to answer. You know, I mean, we've seen, you know, various places where people I know used to live no longer exist, wiped off. I mean, they're now a farm field. You know, I've seen other areas develop, houses come up.
Farm fields that are now full of houses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so change.
Yeah.
Right.
Change. In your opinion, Why should someone want to discover Montcalm County?
Oh,
It's a beautiful place to be. You know, it's got a nice mix of everything that you could want. You know, we're surrounded here by 3,500 acres of state land. You can walk for miles on end, checking out nature. You've got lakes everywhere you turn around. You know, if you want to go fishing, there's dozens of lakes to choose from.
yeah. Cities aren't too far away.
Yeah, you can get to Lake Butte, Greenville, even Grand Rapids is only about 45 minutes out.
Yeah,
You know,
it's kind of a nice little hub. I being in Howard City, I'm a half hour from the rapids, no matter which way I go, and it's always nice to come back.
Yeah.
You know, it's quiet. You know, I have cows out my back door. You know, not mine, my neighbors, but I prefer that.
Oh yeah,
I prefer that. You know,
us too.
love the city to visit, to do things, and then
Come home.
come home. The way we sit today in 2024, if you could put your hat on again and be a visionary, where do you think you would like to take this in the next 5 years?
Well, I mean, we want to grow a little bit more, but at a certain point we're going to hit a level, and you know that's as big as we're going to be.
Because you only have so many
We only have
acres.
so many acres, and we don't want people to feel crowded. We don't want it to turn into just a
Woodstock.
Yeah, no, not at all.
You know, we need plenty of space so people have room to stretch out and do their thing. So I would say that we'll probably hit a peak level of attendees, and you try to balance the budget with the artists so that we can get as high quality talent as we can, while still giving up and comers a spot to show their that's one of the things I love about what we're doing is a lot of the artists that maybe you haven't ever heard of before, but man, they are talented. That's one thing that Mark brings to the table is the knowledge of those up and coming people that can really put on a show.
Yeah, we've had some really neat bands through here.
Now, the two of you, are you musically inclined?
I like to listen to music, and I've tried to learn to play the guitar and even the lap steel, but it doesn't come easily to me. If I find more time in later years, I intend to learn how to play better, but at this point I like to be awestruck by the people, just fingers moving faster than you can see. So.
Yeah.
And you're going, wow, how about you?
I was in choir.
Okay.
Our kids are much more musically talented than we are.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine. I just didn't know,
Oh, yeah.
being in charge of a music festival,
Yep, not us.
you
We just really appreciate other people being able to play.
and you're giving people an opportunity. On average, what is your amount of people that come in over the weekend?
We say about 1,200.
Between volunteers, bands, and attendees, we'll probably be at about 1,200 this year.
And seeing the space here, you probably have room for more, but
There's room for more. But
Oh, yeah.
yeah, not that many more.
right, I can see, and they come in, and this is rustic camping, correct?
Yep.
So if you're coming out here, I don't know if RVs are allowed here.
Oh, yep, we allow RVs.
Okay.
We do have an RV pass this year, and that was part of helping to control how much space people take up. Previously we haven't had showers. This year we're offering showers.
Okay. Somebody with a garden hose.
No, health department wouldn't like that.
Well, sometimes it's funnier in my head than what it is in reality.
We do have a misting tent, though, so
So if it gets warm, there's a
Yep.
place that you can go.
Yep,
And,
yep.
Cool off, sure.
and I saw that there's a sign there that says hydration station.
we have 2 of those. Yep.
So it's very important that, people stay hydrated. I take it you have some sort of rescue, or not rescue, but an ambulance or
We have
medical.
We have
Yep.
medical team on site.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's always somebody to take care of
Sunburns or a cut or
Yep,
whatever
yep.
it might be. Because this, weather, sometimes we can sit here and forget to hydrate.
Right.
And the next thing you know, we're like,
Yeah. We don't need that.
no. And, but you've got people here to take care of that for
Yes.
you.
Yep. That's
you
important.
know,
Yeah.
and it's the flavor of what you're doing is family.
Yes.
So everything that you're doing, is that family. We've chatted for a little bit. I've learned a little bit more about you, and I think people need to discover Montcalm County. They need to discover the Smiling Acres Music Festival. Is there any question that I haven't asked you that you'd like to share with the audience?
I think you covered it pretty well.
Yeah.
Well, I never know. I mean, because when I talk to people, they'll go,
We are still looking for volunteers. There's a sign up on our page. I don't know.
and that's probably an ongoing thing because many hands make light work.
Yep.
And volunteers. About how many volunteers does it take to put this festival on?
130 roughly at this point.
Yeah, probably about that, including like our grounds crew that helps with every festival that we have here.
Right.
Yeah, it's probably about that by now. Yeah.
I was going to say, from security to, the medical side of things to, people just making sure things are going well.
Yeah,
That
yep.
people have a happy, smiling,
Yeah.
event and experience here. So again, how can they get a hold of you? Smiling Acres?
SmilingAcresFestival.com or Smiling Acres on Facebook. We're on Instagram as well.
Okay. So check out their socials, check out, what they have. And is there any vision of maybe having this more than once a year, or
I think our festival will be once a year.
Yep.
We do some other things. That a friend of ours puts on an event called Screaming Acres. It's a Halloween theme. He's got way too much money tied up in animatronics, and last year we started it. And it was just great.
It was a haunted swamp walk, haunted
walks.
swamp walk where it was lit up and had a bunch of scary stuff to walk around.
So is that still going to be happening, or are you
It'll be
kind
happening this year? Yeah.
Yep, in October.
Okay.
Yep.
So, so you're kind of making it, but not the festival.
Right, yeah, it's just a walk. But then we have a bunch of festivals out here this year too. So we just had buses by the beach and
so
yoga
people
fest.
can come and rent this.
Yes.
Yes, yep.
Oh,
Yeah, we have weddings and graduation open houses and all of that kind of thing. So.
you're looking for something unique. And they got a great logo and a great stage here, as well as I see porta potties and I see ice and I see different places. So, you've kind of got this down in a pretty good sized fire pit over there. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure that that lights up the sky, and as you said earlier, the music around it is just like wow.
Yeah.
You get all these musicians together and they start networking, and
Right.
one person starts and another person jumps in, and it just makes it for a nice family event. Well, Nate, very nice meeting
Nice
you.
to meet you.
Rhonda,
Nice to meet you.
thank you for bringing me out here. You need to check out Smiling Acres Music Festival. You also need to check out Discover Montcalm podcast on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, as well as discovermontcalmpodcast.com. We are over 90 episodes now, and we've just now, I don't even think we've beginning to touch what stories are available within this county. And the music festival here being one of those. So be sure to check us out. If you've got an idea or you'd like to be part of the podcast, shoot me a call, 231-250-9624. I'd like to thank Busy Bees, West Michigan Technology and Design Solutions, and DW Video for sponsoring and helping me put this together so that we can bring this podcast to you. Again, thank you again for letting me come out here. Remember to buy and shop locally.
Connect and subscribe to Discover Montcalm Podcast at discovermontcalmpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Discover Montcalm Podcast. To be featured in an upcoming show, contact Dwayne at 231-250-9624. Remember to subscribe at discovermontcalmpodcast.com.